Dear parents, do you have stubborn children and you're worried what to do about them? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This video will do justice to that. Watch to the end. Welcome to another edition of Impactful Parenting Tips on Impactful Parents Academy, where we provide valuable insights and practical advice to parents like you. You are very much welcome. So all our returning subscribers, we say we appreciate you, we appreciate the love. Keep watching. God bless you. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Today we'll be discussing how to handle stubborn children. Stubborn children can be called strong-willed children. They are not stubborn. We are the one referring to them as being stubborn. They are just strong-willed. It is not the fault of strong-willed children that they are created so. Strong-willed children have a vision of what something should be in their minds, and they will look for every means, every way to make sure that that idea they have in their minds come into reality. That is why you call them stubborn. You see them not following your rules. Now, stubborn children, they don't have a problem airing their opinion, saying what they have to say. They don't even have a problem saying no to an adult if they have to say no to an adult. They also find it difficult to adapt to change. That's the problem. They find it difficult to adapt to change. They don't want things to go another way. They just want things to go their own way. That is why you call them stubborn. But if you know how their brains work, how their mind work, you will know how to handle them better. And you as a parent will be able to get the best out of your stubborn children. Stubborn children also have their own advantage. What is the advantage? Stubborn children are always growing up to become great innovators and problem solvers because they are great thinkers. They think a lot and they think deeply. That's why they are seeing the vision that you can't see. They think deeply. They become great innovators if you channel their energies aright. Another advantage of having stubborn children is the fact that they don't yield to peer pressure easily. Hardly do they go the ways of their friends, except if they really want to go that way. That they will follow their friends to do whatever their friends are doing. They are not made up in that way. Now, let's talk about what you can do as a parent to handle stubborn children and get the best out of them. The first thing you have to do with stubborn children is that you should acknowledge and recognize their intelligence. When they tell you things, don't shut them down to say, "You, what do you know? I will not do it that way. What do you know?" No. Appreciate their intelligence. When you appreciate their intelligence, then build on it. Appreciate their intelligence, build on it. That is the first thing you have to do to win the love of a child that you have already tagged stubborn and make the child to do what you want. Build on the confidence of the children. Just tell them, "I appreciate the fact that you think a lot. I appreciate what you just told me." Don't neglect their confidence. Don't see it as something bad. That your child is confident enough to face you or to tell you the truth about some things does not mean that your child is rude. So, appreciate the confidence of your child, appreciate the intelligence of your child, so they will get to listen to you more. When you have been appreciating their confidence and intelligence, they will learn to trust you more. That's the next thing you have to do. Build a trusting relationship with your children. Let them be able to trust you. Let them be able to trust your words. That whatever you are telling them is the way it is. You know, some parents, sometimes they tell their children a kind of lie just to make their children to do some things. Stubborn children are not wired that way. You have to tell them the truth about the situation. And you should have been doing this over time, that they are able to trust you that their mom or their dad is telling them the truth. Now, the next thing you have to do for the so-called stubborn children, but we call them strong-willed children, is that you have to help them to regulate their emotions. Help them to regulate their emotions. You say, "This child is too stubborn. He will not do what I ask him to do." Call the child. How do you think we should do it? Give the child a choice. Let the child air his or her opinion. Look at it critically. Is the child saying what is right? Then you can decide to go the way of the child and model it in your own particular way too. You will tell the child, okay, I've listened to your opinion, this is also my opinion, and if you look at it, it's also right. Okay, let's match the two opinions and let's do it in this way. Help them to regulate their emotions. That's the best way to get the best out of them, instead of just tagging them negative or tagging them bad and making them feel even more rebellious. No, channel their energies and right, then help them to regulate them. If you want your stubborn children, that I will call strong-willed children, to listen to you, sometimes you have to just overlook some things if it is not dangerous in any way. It is not everything that you have to complain about. Pick your battles with them, not every time that you want to have your own way. Look at it critically. If what they are telling you is right, why not do it their own way? So you pick your battles with them. Give these so-called stubborn children a space to learn. Allow them to do it in their own way sometimes. If they now see that it does not work out, now you see what I'm telling you, this thing did not work the way you want it to work. Now do it my own way. I'm an adult, I know what I'm telling you. They will willingly follow your instructions without even arguing. They have learned their lessons. So give them space to learn. Instead of always arguing with them, just give them space to learn. After giving them space to learn, if you want to get the best out of your so-called stubborn children, pay attention to their behavior. Those days that they behave nicely, that they obey without confrontations, you reinforce their good behavior by praising them. Oh, you're a good girl. I love the way you have done this thing. I love the way you have gone about doing this thing. They will be so happy and they will be willing to do so many other things that will make you, their parents, happy. Most children want to make their parents happy. Most children want to please their parents. If you want your so-called stubborn children to listen to you without confrontation, you have to communicate adequately with them. By now, you notice that I usually comment on communications. I usually emphasize communication because communication is the way to go. Communication is the way to go. Whether your children are stubborn or not, strong-willed or not, you have to communicate with them adequately. To get the best out of stubborn children, you have already known by now, I've told you that stubborn children are not just stubborn. They have a vision of how something should be in their head, and they will look for every means to make sure that vision, that idea they have in their heads, come to reality. When you have that at the back of your mind, you will always be able to empathize with your stubborn children, that they are not out to prove stubborn or difficult to you. They just want things to be done their own way. So the best way to get the best out of them is to first empathize with them, now communicate adequately with them. Tell them the reason why you want them to do it that way. Allow them to also speak their opinion. Let them air their opinion. Then meet at a rallying point. That's the best way to handle them. Then lastly, if they do what is wrong, correct them. Follow through with any consequence that you have laid down. You know what consequences are? Consequence is the response to an action. Now, consequence can be a good response and it can also be a bad one if the action is bad. The consequence will be a good one if the action is a good one. The consequence will be a bad one if the action is a bad one. So if you tell your child not to do something, that if you do it, this is what will happen to you, follow through with that consequence so that they will not try it another time. Make sure you are taken seriously by your children. That's the way to go. Make sure you are taken seriously by your strong-willed children. I will not call them stubborn. I will just call them strong-willed. I have told you today that they are not stubborn. They have a vision in their head. So for all of those so-called stubborn children that you have, after today, deal with them in another manner. Allow them to speak their opinion, communicate with them, look at it from their whole point of view, and pick your battles with them. Agree on a particular point. With this, you will begin to enjoy your strong-willed children. I will not call them stubborn. I will just say they are strong-willed. If this video is beneficial to you, do like, share with other parents. Give me your thoughts in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe.